Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. This is Poonam Awasthi, your SST teacher. Students, today we are going to begin a new geography chapter, chapter 6, Major Crops and Agricultural Development. This time we are going to wind up chapter in one video. So watch the video carefully. Keep book whenever you watch the video, and at the end of the video you will be getting a home task. This time home task is divided into two parts, part A and part B. Do it positively in the notebook, and in case of any further doubt, you know what to do. You can write in the comment section, or we can discuss your doubts in the upcoming online class. Map work is also included in this video. So do map practice in map practice book and home task in the notebook. Okay students, so let's begin today's chapter, chapter number 6. Welcome all of you in chapter 6 of geography, that is major crops and agricultural development. Please refer page number 154 to 160 for this chapter. Students, the land under cultivation, that is arable land, is limited. About 10% of the total land surface is only suitable for cultivation. A variety of crops are grown to meet the needs of the rapidly increasing population. The crops also provide raw materials for agro-based industries. Students, this chapter is all about crops and agricultural development. Crops are categorized on the basis of their uses into the following types. Cereals. This category consists rice, wheat, maize and millets. Next category is pulses. It consists gram, moong, urad, arhar, etc. Now oil seeds. It consists mustard, linseed. Then fibers. So cotton and jute are fiber crops. Then we have beverages. So tea and coffee, etc. are beverages crops. Now understand major types of crops. First of all, let's understand rice. Rice. It is the staple food, basic food for at least half of the population in the world. It is the main crop cultivated in the hot and humid regions. Now students, understand the needs of the rice plant. Rice plant needs high temperature, about 25 degrees Celsius, high humidity and rainfall, about 150 centimeters to 200 centimeters, alluvial clayey soil which can retain water is required into this. And students, the main rice producing countries are China, which is the largest producer, followed by India, Bangladesh, Japan, Sri Lanka and USA. Now understand wheat. Wheat is the most important of all cereals. It has been the chief source of human food for at least 6,000 years. Wheat is also the staple food, basic food in many countries. Now students, understand the needs of the wheat plant. Wheat plant needs moderate temperature of about 15 degrees Celsius, moderate rainfall of about 75 centimeters, bright and sunny weather during the time of harvest, and students, well-drained loamy soil is good. It produces good quality grain, and black soil produces excellent quality grain. Now see the main wheat producing regions. So the main wheat producing regions are the temperate grasslands. It is grown in Russia, USA, Canada, Australia, China and India. Now students, see rice and wheat producing countries in world map. Rice producing countries are India, Bangladesh, Japan, Sri Lanka and USA. Students, rice producing countries are highlighted with yellow color, and now wheat producing countries: Russia, USA, Canada, Australia, China and India. So you can have a look on this map, rice and wheat. Wheat is highlighted with green check and rice with yellow. You can practice this map from Map Practice Book, page number 30. Now students, understand maize. Maize is still the staple food, basic food of the people of Latin America, as it is originated in Latin America. It was introduced in Europe by Christopher Columbus. It is known as corn in the Americas. Now understand the needs of the maize plant. Maize plant needs undulating relief, moderate temperature of about 20 degrees Celsius, moderate rainfall of about 50 centimeters to 100 centimeters, well-drained deep and fertile soil. It is required. And students, the main maize producing countries are USA followed by Russia, China and Brazil. USA is the largest producer of maize. And students, USA is also the largest exporter of maize. Now students, let's explore millet. Coarse grains like jowar, bajra and ragi are called millet. These grains have low nutritional value as compared to other cereals. These crops are grown in the areas of high temperature, low rainfall, and these can be grown in less fertile and sandy soil. The main millet producing countries are India, China, USA and Brazil. Now see maize and millet producing countries in the world map. Maize and millet. USA, Brazil and China produces both maize and millet. Please refer page number 32 of Map Practice Book to practice this map. Okay students? Now sugarcane. Sugarcane is a kind of grass with a thick stem. It grows to a height of about 3 meters or more. Sugar is stored in the stem of the sugarcane. Now understand the needs of the sugarcane plant. Hot and humid climate, level land and well-drained fertile soil. Now see the main sugarcane producing countries: Brazil, Cuba, India and Mexico. Now students, we are going to explore fiber crops, cotton and jute. Cotton has its origin in India. It was first cultivated during the period of Indus Valley Civilization. It is the main raw material for the cotton textile industry. Jute. It is the second most important vegetable fiber after the cotton. It is also known as the golden fiber, and jute is called the brown paper of wholesale trade, as it is mostly used to make packing materials. So it is called brown paper of wholesale trade. Now students, understand the needs of these plants. The needs of the cotton plant. Cotton plant needs high temperature of about 27 degrees Celsius, rainfall of about 60 centimeters to 100 centimeters, fertile, well-drained soil like black soil. Yes, it is required. And students, the main cotton producing countries are USA, China, India and Brazil. Now understand the needs of the jute plant. Jute, as we have studied, it is also known as golden fiber. Jute grows well in a warm and wet climate. Alluvial soil is suitable for it, and deltaic soil is ideal for its cultivation. The main jute producing countries are India and Bangladesh. They are the leading jute producers in the world. Now students, see cotton and jute producing countries in the world. USA, China, India and Brazil are for cotton, and India and Bangladesh you can mark for jute. For more practice, refer page number 34 of map practice book. Students, now we are going to explore beverages crop, that is tea and coffee. Tea is a popular drink in most of the British Commonwealth countries. Tea is a beverage crop grown on plantations. It is prepared from the leaves. The coffee plant is a native of the highlands of southern Ethiopia. The name coffee has been derived from the highland district of Kaffa, where it was first found. It is now a popular drink, and coffee powder is obtained by grinding the roasted coffee beans or berries. Now let's understand the needs of these crops. The needs of the tea plant. Tea plant needs sloping land to avoid waterlogging, temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius, annual rainfall of about 250 centimeters, and deep well-drained fertile soil. Students, the main tea producing countries are China, India, Sri Lanka, Kenya and Japan. Now understand the needs of coffee plant. Coffee plant needs average temperature of about 22 degrees Celsius, annual rainfall 150 centimeters to 250 centimeters. Well-drained loamy soil with high humus is required. Brazil is the largest producer and exporter of coffee in the world. Other coffee producing countries are India, Mexico and East Africa. USA is the largest importer of coffee in the world. Students, now see map for tea and coffee. China, India, Sri Lanka, Kenya and Japan you can mark for tea, and for coffee, Brazil, India and Mexico you can mark. Please refer page number 36 of map practice book to practice more about these map. So students, by this we have understood major crops. Now we are going to understand agricultural development. Students, most of the countries in the world now they are making sincere efforts to increase crop production to meet the needs of the increasing population. And students, how can we achieve this? So this can be achieved through increasing land under cultivation, growing more than one crop in a year and improving irrigation facilities, using high yielding variety seeds, HYV seeds, and using organic and chemical fertilizers. To understand more about it, we will study about agricultural farms in India and USA. Okay? A farm in India provides food and raw material for agro-based industries. Now understand the main features of a farm in India. Here, subsistence agriculture is mostly practiced. The farmer's family consumes almost the entire produce with little or no surplus to sell in the market. Here beta, land holdings are small due to the inheritance law. The land which belongs to the father is divided among his sons and daughters. This leads to small and uneconomic land holdings, and so the land holdings are small. Here agriculture depends largely on the monsoon rain. Here the production of food crop is the top priority. Indian farmers, they face many problems. They cannot buy enough agricultural inputs due to fund shortage. They has to borrow money from moneylender or from a bank. Sometimes they had to sell their produce immediately after harvest due to the shortage of proper storage facilities. However, students, the Green Revolution has changed agriculture in many ways. So what is Green Revolution? Green Revolution refers to a large increase, tremendous increase in crop production by using modern agricultural techniques like using HYV seeds, using organic and chemical fertilizers, using modern irrigation facilities, etc. So students, because of Green Revolution, there was a modernization in agriculture in India. There was an introduction of HYV seeds, adequate use of chemical fertilizers, and use of pesticides and insecticides. And there is provision of agricultural credit on soft terms from the banks also introduced. Agricultural universities were also set up to train the farmers. So this helped not only to enhance production but also to improve the general social and economic conditions of farmers and their families too. Now students, let's explore a farm in USA. USA is a prosperous country. It is blessed with vast fertile plains and extensive grasslands. The prairies in USA stretch from the Rocky Mountains in the west to the Great Lakes in the east. So what are prairies? Prairies are stretches of flat grass land with moderate temperature, moderate rainfall and few trees. American prairies, it is ideal for agriculture. This region enjoys moderate temperature, moderate rainfall, well-drained dark brown, full of humus soil. Melting of snow provides moisture to soil here. And all of these conditions are suitable for agricultural activities. Now students, let's understand the features of a farm in USA. Due to the large size of farm, most of the work is done by machines. Here, crop rotation is practiced to retain soil fertility. Livestock is raised to supplement the farm income. The farmer here earns enough money to maintain the high standard of living. So students, we have seen both ways of agriculture in India and in USA. With the help of these examples, now let's compare them. Agriculture in India and agriculture in prairies. So, size of a farm is very small in agriculture in India and size of the farm is very large in prairies. Here, use of traditional methods and use of machine is limited. But in prairies, modern farming methods are used and most of the work is done by machines. Here, agriculture depends largely on the monsoon rains. Here, modern irrigation facilities are used. And we have seen subsistence type of farming is practiced in India and extensive type of farming is practiced in USA. So this is comparison between agriculture in India and agriculture in prairies, USA. With this, we are done with this chapter, major crops and agricultural development. Now students, have a quick look to the home task. In today's home task, there are two parts, part A and part B. Please refer page number 161 of book to see back exercise and to do it positively. So students, this is the first time we have completed full chapter in one video. In case of any doubt, feel free to drop your queries in the comment section or you may ask in the upcoming online class. Students, don't forget to like and share the video. This is it for today, beta. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching, keep learning.